Welcome to the 2025-2026 English Premier League DFS preview. I'm Sniper. With me, I can't say as always like I do when I do the MMA shows. You guys may not know this crew. It is Ivan over right next to me, and you got Ash, who is rocking his DFS Army avatar down there. And we are going to be breaking down, we'll do a little bit of intro in the beginning, DraftKings FanDuel soccer scoring, how you can attack these contests, and then we're going to do a full preview, team by team, breaking down this season, who you're going to want to target, which teams we think will be good, which teams we think will suck, and how we just approach this from a DFS perspective. So before we get into it, Yvonne, it's actually the first time we've met. Nice to meet you outside of Discord. Ash, I mean, I know what your voice is. I was busting Ash's balls before we started. Got to get him on camera. I don't think I'm going to win that one, but how are you guys? Are you excited to talk about all of these, the 20 teams here in the English Premier League?
Yeah, I'm excited, man. This is going to be my first full season at DFS Army. I came in like mid-March, early April, I believe. So I'm excited to, help out. You guys already have a wonderful crew, so, just plug in and kind of help out.
Yep, and helping out because Ash is still with us because unfortunately right now he cannot play DraftKings in the UK, but he's such a, he's in the DFS Army community. Hopefully at some point, I faced the same thing in New York a while ago, Ash, years ago at this point. Hopefully at some point comes back for you. I know you love the sport. We're going to hang around and talk about it. So thanks for staying on the team here, even though you can't play right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, I love DFS Army, so it's not really an issue that I can't play. As for DraftKings coming back, I doubt it because I read somewhere that only 1.3% of their profits was from the UK market, so I don't see that happening. However, I still like to try and help our members win. So
that's what we are going to try and do. Yvonne, by the way, I saw your stuff last year. I know it was a little in and out, personal stuff, and the MMA last year took up a lot of my time and some of the prop stuff, but make sure you check out the cheat sheets. One of the things we offer over at DFS Army. It is the biggest thing. In addition to anything in Discord, it'll be myself, Yvonne, Ash will do some free stuff. Nolan is the fourth guy on the team. May jump in during this podcast when he was getting home from work. So we're going to go team by team here in just 1 second. Do me a favor, guys. Smash the like button. If you want to get in DFS Army, check out some of the packages. You got NFL football coming as well. I'm going to put a link in the description or my profiles, depending on where you are watching or listening to this. Make sure you go and check that out. All right, let's bring up the screen share here. And actually, before we get to team by team, we're going to talk scoring because if you are new to DFS soccer, you need to know the scoring and what we're looking at. So I'll cover a high level. This is obviously the DraftKings scoring. A goal is going to get you 10 points. An assist will get you 6 points. A shot is 1 point. A shot on goal gets you an additional point. One of the bigger changes from when I first started playing DFS soccer is crosses are now 0.7 points. Years ago, they were like a full point and a half even, I think. You just loaded up on crosses. It's not the same as it used to be. And honestly, I've noticed the last 5 years, teams are crossing less and less in the English Premier League. You used to be able to just load in, Trent Alexander-Arnold, or whoever else was going to be crossing the ball and just build a good floor. It's not so much the same anymore. Shot assisted is 1 point. Foul drawn is 1. You get fractional points for accurate passes. Commit a foul, you lose a point. Interceptions, a half a point. Yellow cards, red cards, you lose some points. The bonus at the end of the game, if you have a defender and the team does not allow any goals, it's called a clean sheet. They get 3 points for that. Your goalkeeper scoring, any saves are a win is 5 points. A clean sheet is 5 points. Save gets you 2. You concede a goal, it is 2. I mean, you can have one of these favorites. It's not always optimal to slam in high price favorites because 1, they eat up a lot of salary. And 2, if a team wins 3-1 and goalie let in the only shot they're going to face, team wins 3-1, they get -2 points for the goal conceded, 5 points for a win. You're sitting at 3 and you ain't winning a GPP with a 3 in your goalie spot. It's just, if you're going to pay up, it either needs to be get plenty of saves and a clean sheet, or you need to have seen a lot of shots. That's why I like the mid-range keepers, because you can find a win and a bunch of saves in there. I think it's a mistake a lot of people make off the top is just jamming in the highest price keeper on a slate. If you go over to FanDuel, let me scroll a little bit so you can see through our faces here. Rather than reading all of them, I'll tell you, for the most part, FanDuel is match to DraftKings, but with higher point totals. This is what FanDuel is across the board. You see more points with the so if a goal is 50% more on on FanDuel than DraftKings, most of the other stuff is also about 50% more. The things that I think need to be addressed here that are different, where you get more of a bonus on FanDuel. FanDuel's got more stats for defenders, making central defenders on underdog teams who are cheap, good targets. You get 1.6 points for a block shot and 1.6 for a clearance. There's additional stats in addition to the tackles and interceptions you could already get on DraftKings. More stats for defenders here. You also you're also amped up a little bit when it comes to chances created. It's a little bit more than a 50% bonus here. I think those are the big differences. For the most part, though, I've found over the last few years the two things, and it wasn't this way 3-4 years ago. I think shots taken have become a really strong floor category because teams tend to be shooting a little more, especially centrally, as I've seen less and less crossing. Now, that's going to vary team by team and formation by formation, but we are going to talk about that and those team instances coming up in a second. But that's just general strategy talk and things that on my YouTube page a while ago, I did a DFS soccer introduction video, and those are some slight changes from that video I have seen. So I did a lot of talking here to start. Yvonne, any thoughts on the scoring and the differences between DraftKings and FanDuel?
Honestly, like I mainly play DraftKings now.
Okay.
But I always love FanDuel. Like you mentioned right now, like the extra points you get for defense. It's always one of my favorite things because like you get these low price, like win price guys who aren't like the center backs who aren't gonna really attack, but they'll put their bodies on the line. Kind of like if you're playing hockey, they'll throw themselves in front of the ball. Yeah, so you just rack up points there.
Yep,
that's kind of like what I want.
The FanDuel central defenders are good.
Yeah.
Ash, how about for you? Anything else in terms of the scoring before we get into the teams this year?
Just one question for you, actually, Sniper. Have they adjusted the crossing points on DraftKings since I stopped playing?
No, it's been a little while. I just remember I'm getting fucking old at this point. I know you guys who watch the MMA show have heard me enough say that enough, but I remember when crossing was like 1.5 points per cross or 1 point per cross. But it's been a few years since they adjusted it. And I think at one point it was 0.75 maybe.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
So this may have gone down a little bit. So, all right, that's what we got for scoring, guys. Now we're going to go team by team. The important things to know, we're going to cover every team. We're going to look at formation, new players, how we think they're going to do. And then also it's important to know, I'll do the intro for each team. You're going to want to know who the set piece takers are on each team. And that means if a corner kick, free kicks, penalties are obviously big for the goal scoring upside. And the guys who take corners can give you a little bit of a floor. Those are usually the cash game players we are looking for. So let's start with many people's pick to win the Premier League this year, and that is Arsenal. Arsenal, by the way, so it looks like this is going to be weird because we're basing this a little bit off of last season and guesses. It's got Saka as the penalty taker. I'm going to guess Gyökeres is actually going to take more penalties, but we'll see. It's going to be Gyökeres or Saka. Gyökeres is a new arrival to this team, kind of highly touted. Had a really good season last year in Portugal, correct?
Yes, Portugal.
And we'll see how it translates to the Premier League. Indirect corners, Saka, Declan Rice, Odegaard. Arsenal was a little bit of a problem to figure out in set pieces last year. In terms of other big players on this team, as far as I know, it is not going to be that front line. Saka, Gyökeres, Martinelli. Ivan, why don't you do the honors this week and break down Arsenal for us?
All right. So yeah, I think before we started recording, I said Arsenal's actually my pick to win the Premier League this year.
Yep.
This is the last 2 or 3 years they've finished second. And the biggest piece they've been missing is a striker. And like Sniper just mentioned, they brought in Gyökeres from, I believe it was Sporting, who has just been killing it over there. And I think with Saka, Martinelli was kind of forgotten on this team. You have Saka, who's a big name. Rice was a big signing. I think Martinelli is like the one piece that I think is gonna push him over the edge. in my opinion. And the signing of Subamendi, who came over from Real Sociedad, who probably is the best player, was the best player in La Liga last year, in my opinion. I think he's a bigger signing than Gyökeres, in my opinion.
But is he going to be DFS relevant? I agree. I think he makes them better. It's going to be. I don't know if he's going to score though.
I think he's gonna. It's a lot of people don't take into account. Something I take into account a lot in DFS is touches, because like if midfielders, like I think most set pieces, Odegaard and Rice are gonna take some. Who are gonna be like his midfield help. They're gonna be more the set piece takers. Mendy is more gonna be like the back end guy. But I think he's gonna have a lot of touches, which gives him a lot of chances for like assists. I don't have the number off the top of my head, but I know he created a lot of chances last year in La Liga. So I just think he's gonna have the ball enough to like have good DFS days, and his price shouldn't be too high either, considering who he's with.
Ash, what are you thinking for Arsenal?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Gyökeres will be taking penalties. I've seen him play live, and he doesn't give you a choice. He just grabs the ball. So he used to play for Coventry, who are my local team. And I was a season ticket holder when he was there. And yeah, he just grabs the ball, and you're not getting it off him.
Yeah, I think he's going to have a lot of upside. I like him in FPL this year if you're playing if you're playing that. So be on the lookout.
I have a sneaky one. I think Lewis Skelly will have a great season this season for DFS. So
yeah, especially because Ben White, whenever you roster Ben White, he doesn't do dick for DFS. He doesn't. You always think, yeah, he's so cheap. He's fullback and he's 3,300, and he puts out 4 points, and you go, oh yeah, it's Ben White. I fell for that again. So I do like the Lewis Skelly call. This will be one of the teams we do target a bunch this year. By the way, apologies in advance. I'm going to butcher a lot of these names. I'm usually pretty good, and I know I messed up Gyökeres.
Yeah, it's Victor Gyökeres.
Yeah. See, you British have a way with words. I'm just going to go ahead and fuck him up over here. It's going to be fun. All right, let's move on and let's talk Aston Villa. Aston Villa in terms of set pieces, it says, now I'm wondering how much I want to go by this if they haven't even updated for Gyökeres. So let's kind of toss that out and let's just focus on the projected formations. By the way, something we do need to note throughout the way is this is projected lineups for week 1. Aston Villa is a good first example. Arsenal's pretty much healthy. It's not going to be Bizot in goal all year. It's going to be Emi Martinez. But he's serving the one match ban, as you see right on screen here. Big news for me is Malen joining this team from Borussia Dortmund. I like the look of the squad pretty decently. Ash, what do you think about Aston Villa?
Yeah, again, this is a somewhat local team to me, my brother's team. And I think Tielemans will be on free kicks. They've got quite a well-balanced team. For DFS purposes, you've got to be looking at Maatsen and Cash, because Cash will be cheap all season. Malen will get forward. He's projected on the left, but it'll be more like slightly forward as a winger rather than a left midfielder. So for me, it's Malen, Rodgers, Watkins, Maatsen is all I'm going for from Villa, and then Tielemans for Cash. Yeah.
Tielemans is rough because he plays centrally. Like if he would play out wide, I'd be a little more comfortable with him. I think he's going to be a little bit. To me, Tielemans is a guy who exploits really bad teams. So when they go up against anybody top half the table, then I think I'll take more shots on Rodgers and Watkins. And then I think against the top half, I'm more likely to play McGinn than I am Tielemans. And against the lower half of the table, probably Tielemans. It's just how I've seen, I felt them play over the years. But I definitely like this is one of those teams I should point out here. So Cash and Maatsen, those are the defenders on the outside. They're called fullbacks. For those of you layman's joining us, every team, unless they're playing 3 in the back, everyone's going to have fullbacks, but some will utilize them more than others for DFS. Aston Villa is a team we will be targeting the fullbacks, not quite as much as we're going to target the Liverpool fullbacks all day, every day, all the time, but you get the point. Ivan, anything else on Aston Villa?
No, I was just going to agree with with you guys. Rodgers, I think it might be one of my favorite players this season in DFS, especially without Rashford. Last year they had Rashford. This year, I think he's in Barcelona.
Yeah, he moved to Barca. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Rodgers gonna take a lot of like the work that Rashford was doing last year. I think he's gonna be a big DFS player.
I wouldn't be surprised if this morphs into some like almost like a 4-2-3-1 with McGinn and Malen. A little like it's, I don't know. I know they want Watkins up there solo.
I think this more when they're attacking. I think this actually morphs into a Cash slots in as a third centre back, makeshift if you like, and then they like play like a 7 attackers going forward, like really quick pounce.
Maybe this is one of those we're gonna have to keep an eye on exactly because they have a lot of interesting pieces, guys who can attack.
Yeah, I think Malen was a striker at one point with Borussia Dortmund, no?
Yep. Yeah, he was a false 9. Yeah.
All right, let's move on and let's talk. And we are going to fire through these guys. We got 20 teams to cover. Do me a favor, smash the like button, share with your friends. Make sure you join us in the DFS Army Discord and ask any questions if you think we could. Any questions because we jumped through somebody too quick. We're already working on slate notes for the first weekend, so make sure you go and check that out. All right, now we got Bournemouth here, real looking, and I know, geez, they already got Christie out, Kluivert's out, Unal is out, Lewis Cook is out for this match, serving suspension. So what's over here is they're in a little bit of trouble the first week. It looks like, you know what, they're playing Liverpool anyway, so they weren't getting anything out of that matchup anyway. Last year, Tavernier, I cannot say his name. Apology. Ash, how do you say his name?
Tavernier.
No, that's right.
Marcus Tavernier. Yeah.
He surprised me a little bit in terms of his DFS viability as the season went on. Even Nielsen's an okay 9. Again, this is a guy to target when it's bad team versus bad team. That's when even Nielsen tends to pop up. For me, the player to watch in this team is Semenyeho. I'm interested to see what kind of season he is going to have. Yvonne, what else do you have on Bournemouth? As this is a team probably going to play against more often than not this year.
Yeah, I love Brooks in DFS this season. So far during the preseason, he's been the one taking all the corners and like the not direct free kicks, like not on goal. So I think he's gonna be a big set piece taker. And then on defensive side, Araujo, he hasn't really had any playing time with Bournemouth since he joined last year. But I think with like the loss of all their right backs and left backs, I think he's gonna be a big role in DFS because he likes to attack. Like I don't know if you've seen like the Mexican national team, he's from Mexico. He's always like near the opponent's box. So, like you mentioned earlier, like the Premier League not a crossing league anymore, not much. But I think he could cross the ball. I think he could get up and cross.
It's changed so much the last few years. Interesting. I'm gonna keep an eye on him. This is probably a team that I feel like they're gonna get off to a bad start, and I'm interested to see what kind of changes they're gonna make. Come match day or game week 10. Like, I think we could be looking at a different team. Ash, how about for you?
Okay, so first of all, I'd like to say if you like stories behind your DFS picks, Brooks is a really good one because he had stage 2 lymphoma and he came back from it. So there's a good narrative if you like a story behind a pick. Second of all, they just signed Diakate. So I doubt Hill will start. Diakate will come in as centre back, which makes them slightly stronger. Third of all, from a DFS point of view, I like Scott.
Centrally, why?
Yeah, because he when he played for Bristol City, he took all the set pieces for them. He has a really good free kick from the edge of the box. So he could be like a 3,300 player who could nick a free kick and get you a goal.
Again, overall, I don't think we're going to be playing Bournemouth a ton this year, but we'll see how the season shakes out.
Oh, and I don't like Evan Nielsen. I don't think he'll have a good season.
See, he's like I said, I think he's one of those guys I'm going to pick on when they're playing like Leeds or the other teams are terrible. Like that's where I think he gets his. And I like those bad team versus bad team matchups in DFS because, then the strikers who are still minus 110 to score are sitting at like 6,500. And that's the kind of play like you can win in GPP. Everybody likes the sexy teams, Liverpool, Man City, Man U, all this stuff, and you'll play him. But when you get like Bournemouth versus Leeds, that's a perfect example of a game that can go 3-2 and just break the slate.
I'm sorry, did you just say sexy teams and Man United in the same sentence?
You know what I mean. The popular teams. I love hating on them too. Watching them, I think I was in chat last year saying, "Man, please let Man U find a way to get relegated, please."
We should all call them. We should all call them Newton Heath, which is their official name. They only changed it for marketing reasons.
We're not gonna get into this. We're just gonna totally derail here. We got Brentford up next. You guys lose me in a second. I think my headphones are starting to go. Brentford's up here. Wisa, I can't say his name either. Jan Helter out. I don't think anybody else really matters. This team losing. Oh God, help me out.
They're lost in Buemo.
Mbembo, thank you. Yeah, we're still on Man U.
And they're losing Wissa to Newcastle. So
he's definitely going. The one.
Yeah. They're signing Otaro to replace Wissa.
So this team has lost a bunch. They are going to, I think, really be in a world of hurt here and try and rebuild. And I think we were talking earlier. I think everybody pretty much agrees that for the most part, and it's like this every year, the teams that are newly promoted are the most likely to get relegated again. If anybody's going to make the exception, and we'll talk about it later, is probably Sunderland staying up and replacing them. I think Brentford's going to have a fuck of a time trying to stay up this year. Ash, what do you make of this team?
Yeah, they've signed a really good goalkeeper, which could help them. Calais is really good. He's going to be really good for DFS point of view. He's going to get loads of shots on him, and we know his save percentage is pretty good. Thiago, apparently my brother said, is pretty good, so maybe he's a target when they play the weaker teams. And Lewis Potter's got some speed on him, but they've got Henderson in midfield. Like, they're going to get wrecked in that midfield point.
Yeah, it's the problem.
I won't be attacking these too much, but I would go for Calais. I think he's gonna have some good like upside. Yeah.
Yep, I agree with that. You get him against a team that's gonna shoot a lot. He can make a bunch of saves. How about for you, Ivan?
I'm paying them for the most part in DFS this season, at least early on. Like we said, they lost some, like almost the entire goal scorers from last season. I think outside of maybe Damsgaard, I'm paying this team for the most part.
All right, let's talk Brighton and Hove Albion. Every time I hear the full name of Brighton, I flash right to Ted Lasso, which Ash, I got you here. Do you guys in the UK appreciate Ted Lasso?
I mean, I can only speak for myself. I find it really funny. Yeah.
Good.
I heard that Tom Brady, who took over Birmingham, that
was last year.
Yeah, but he didn't realize Ted Lasso was not a real manager.
Oh fuck!
Yeah,
that's great. That's a fantastic show. If you don't watch Ted Lasso for whatever reason, go watch it. Your spouse can watch it. My wife watches it. Does not watch soccer, football. Doesn't watch any of it. But it's one of the better made shows that been out in probably the last 10 years.
It's got some quite stars in it as well.
Say again? Sorry?
It's got some quite big actor stars in it as well. Like people will know. Yeah.
It does. All right, let's move on. Injury news here is, I think, worthwhile. No Webster, no Enciso, no Solly March. Solly March, I can never figure out when he's going to feature or not. Brighton, not a team I'm looking at a bunch here. I'll let you guys speak to Brighton, because honestly, for the most part, outside of Matoma, these guys, a lot of them I'm going to be seeing play for, and Lewis Dunk.
May I take this one?
Sure, go for it. You seem to have a strong opinion.
Oh, I do. I think they've got one of the best assets you could possibly go for. I think he's going to be really cheap. Well, cheaper than he should be. De Croupier. I think he's going to take penalties. And like, he's gotten to get forward a lot. He often plays more as a left back who plays as a left midfielder. He just always gets forward. He runs and runs down the wing. And also Minte, he could have a big season in pre-season. Minte and Mitoma have been combining quite well. So I think they're more playable than you think.
His team typically they score pretty well for DFS when they have a good matchup team typically, but it's been Solly March, Trossard when he was there. I know I'm going back a little bit of a way.
I think this team's way more balanced, Sniper. Like they could have a really good season.
Yeah, they're the way they play usually has a little bit of upside. So I'm glad I have not seen the Croupier play. I've actually heard that from somebody else. It's slipped my mind until you said that, but I know I haven't seen that I can remember offhand. Oh, Minte he's super young, isn't he?
They stole him from Newcastle. He's really, really good. Like
yeah,
he's fast.
You're a little bit. Pretty much doesn't know. Ash is a Newcastle super fan, so you're a little bit of bias there. You have to.
He never played a single game for us. We made a profit. I was gutted when he got sold. Like he's going to have a big season for Brighton.
What do you think about Brighton, Ivan?
I agree with you guys. The Kuiper, I don't know how to pronounce his name. I saw a little bit of him last season, and he looks like a really good player. I think he's gonna be a good DFS play, especially if he starts off cheap on DraftKings and FanDuel. But also Julio Enciso, who's gonna miss the first game. Yeah. I loved him last year with Ipswich. That guy just shoots the ball. If he's anywhere near the goal, he just shoots, which gets you a point. I think he averaged like six shots per game.
6.08, yeah.
Yeah, like this guy just if he has a space, he's gonna shoot. And if one goes in, you're good.
This team probably needs. I will say, every year I love targeting. I love GPP deep plays on Lewis Dunk. He just finds a way to score aerially or at least get shots. He's going to be a target on set pieces. He's one of those guys I probably have bias towards that I like more than I should, but he seems to find a way to get involved. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about Burnley in this. Oh, it's really, I mean, Ash, like when I used the word sexy earlier, it's really sexy looking 5-4-1 filled with who, and I don't know any of you people.
Surely you know Mijabri. He's a Hannibal from Man United.
Yeah, but I don't think I saw him play much. Look, Burnley is, I think, my top pick to get relegated. I got Lyle Foster up top. It is going to be who's their goalie? It's not
Dubravka.
It's somewhere in here, right? Yeah,
Dubravka. Yeah, they got him from
He'll
Newcastle.
be an interesting target, kind of like you said earlier. In terms of goalies to target when they don't have it awful in any matchup, he's decent. For the most part, I don't like much of this Burnley team, and I feel bad for you, Ivan, that you got to break this down further because I haven't set the bar very high. But am I off base here? Feel free to tell me I'm stupid, please.
No, I think you're right with this. Wait, Ash, do you know if you signed Marcus Edwards?
Edwards, he moved to Burnley, right?
Yeah, like I don't see him in the projected lineup. I thought he would be their forwards, but I guess not. Anyway, he's really the only guy I want.
He's on the scout site. It says Edwards or Larson could benefit from a recall. Yeah, he's there. Yeah.
Oh, and don't get fooled when Broja starts for this team where he gets back in. I hate that guy. He sucks.
I agree.
Sucks.
Overhyped. Yeah.
Yeah, but like Edwards would be the only player I wouldn't want to play from this team, to be honest with you.
Ash, any different take here on Burnley, or can we move on to some better DFS options?
I agree. Edwards was really good for Sporting, so yeah. It was Sporting, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was teammates with Jokeris.
Yeah.
All right. You know what? Ash went twice. First, we're going to give Ivan a good team finally because I feel bad after the last one. We're going to go Chelsea here. Chelsea going to be up, flirting with in that top four mix. You got to love Cole Palmer centrally. He's looked really good the last 2 years. You got João Pedro up front, another former Borussia Dortmund player, correct? And Gittins, right? Didn't he come over from Dortmund?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
And Pedro Neto on the outside. Enzo Fernandez. This is one of the only, I think, deep lying midfielders that I'm willing to play week to week because he gets forward and he just shoots, from all over the place, finds a way to get involved. fullbacks, James and Kukurea are decent. Like this is all around. You got options all over this team. I kind of named everybody. For me, my favorite, I mean, it's just the chalk of chalk, but it's Cole Palmer, one of the best players in the league right now. But Yvonne, anything deeper than that you can give to the people?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I'm basically locking in Palmer in cash because he's going to be highly owned every game, every slate.
If you could only play one, hang on, if you could only play one, and they're both playing, so they both had the best possible matchup. Cole Palmer, Mohamed Salah. Who are you going to play?
Well, same price, like everything's same.
Yeah, let's go. Salah's 11,000 and Palmer's 10,500.
I'll go Palmer. I think now Liverpool. Now we'll talk about them in a little bit. But I think now they have a lot more talent around Salah.
It's a lot of mouths to feed on that team now. There's a lot of mouths to feed.
Like Chelsea has a lot. Like not listed here. Like the Lap, who had a decent year last year, even though they got relegated. They got the wonder kid Estevao, who looked good in the Club World Cup. Like so, they have players, but Palmer is like the center of that team. Like he's like the point guard. He's gonna control everything. Like the ball's gonna go through him almost every single attack. So I'm locking him in every straight.
Ash, how about for you? What do you love about Chelsea?
First of all, the Palmer Salah is not even close for me this year. It's Palmer. Salah Salah's having an off season this year because Wirtz is going to take over Liverpool. So
interesting, yeah. I do think you see that go down. Kind of like how we were all playing Trent Alexander-Arnold every single week at any price, and he slowly came back to earth.
Yeah. As for Chelsea, of course they have depth. They own 20% of the total football players in the world. Yeah. But here we go. I think Kukurea is going to have a great season.
There's something about him that annoys me. I can't place my finger on it, but there's something about him that
is hair because you don't have that much.
Hey! I got a beautiful head of hair for 40. Okay, listen, nice.
Yeah, that's all I have to say. Really, I wouldn't trust James. Like I trust him in single slates like DraftKings, but if you're playing FPL, don't put James. He'll get injured. Yeah.
FPL is season long, guys.
I think Ivan covered everything I'd say about Chelsea, really.
Yeah. All right, you can go first now that we got Crystal Palace.
Now, this is an interesting one. I
think this is weird, especially because I never want to play a ton of for whatever reason. It's stuck. This is maybe a branding thing. Whenever I hear Crystal Palace, I just think, they're kind of shit. And they're not. They got Eze, they got Mateta, Ismail Yassar, Tarek Mitchell. I'm looking around. Their defense looks okay. I've always been a big fan back here in goal of Dean Henderson. Like this squad looks decent top to bottom. Where are we going for DFS, Ash?
Okay, so I think that they have one of the best triangular forwards in the league for DFS. Mateta bounces very well off Sarr and Eze. That's why he gets so many goals. The creative triangle they've got is just insane. I wouldn't be afraid to play Sarr versus anyone. Honestly, he's so direct and he can just get in the box. It's like everyone Max Eze and Sarr gets a free run into the box and he'll get shots every game. I'd not be not cash, obviously, but GPP. I wouldn't be afraid to play Sarr even versus Man City if the price was right.
Eze is your cash look for this team, correct?
My cash lock would be.
Or look, who are you going to look to in cash games? I don't think anybody from
Munoz, probably. He's attacking.
Yeah, I think it's a decent price. Yeah.
Yeah. Eze, if it's against the bottom 10 opponent.
Gotcha. Cash, how about for you, Yvonne? What are you thinking for
I think Ash nailed it with the front three triangle. The only thing that worries me later on, if Eze does leave them, I don't know how that team's gonna gel without him. So if he leaves for DFS, I might fade Crystal Palace a week just to see how the team gels without him.
I think
But I will say Warden.
oh,
Warden
sorry,
might be one of my favorite GPP plays.
if
Especially
Eze
like,
leaves, Wharton gets a free kick. So
yeah, I think even with SA, like Warden should get the corners. Like he's gonna be heavily involved, and he's always priced pretty low. He's one of my favorite GPP plays for Crystal Palace.
just don't play Hughes.
Yeah,
Well,
he
he's gonna
burned
be
me too
min
much
price
last
though.
year.
Gonna be min price.
He could be free, and I wouldn't pick him.
I remember when he was a good play, because he would come up between 3,000, 3,500 for Watford like every week, and he'd find a way to do something.
Yeah, never picked him. I don't think I've ever picked him. Yeah.
That's a shame. All right, let's go. Let's talk Everton. Another kind of interesting look. I'm looking through the injury note here. Not a ton to really concern yourself about here. And again, not a team I'm overly high on. I mean, it's sad when I think the best part of your team is your goalkeeper, and Jordan Pickford is solid. But who else are we looking at here, Ash? Like,
Well,
I don't think I'm.
there's a player who's not listed who's going to have a great season for
You
Everton.
talking about Mikolenko?
No, Jack Grealish.
Oh yeah,
Oh, that's right. I totally slipped my mind. I feel silly. That's right.
I think if they get the pricing wrong, which they will, they're going to put him way too cheap. And
so I need to give a little bit of background. Grealish not signed. He transferred over to Everton from Man City. Was fighting for playing time over there. One of the more dynamic players in the league. Draws so many fouls. It's actually painful. Like people. Yes, does he dive a little bit? Sure, no more than anybody else though. He seems to get hit especially hard. Like he puts his body on the line, draws a ton of fouls, which are good for points. He's going to be involved. He definitely is the best player on this team. It totally slipped my mind.
Yeah, and also like he gets limited at Man City. What he could do. This is going to be like Grealish at Villa. Like he's going to get creative freedom.
Please help us stay up, please.
Yeah, and he will. He will.
I
think with Beto in the middle, who's very strong in the air at heading, that it could see like maybe conservative 14 goal involvements this year. I think Grealish will get.
I think he'll get more than that.
I'm being conservative, but
yeah, I think he's going to need to. Like, I mean, I'd go north of 20.
I hope he does because I'm really high on him. Like, this year I'm going for the UK version of DraftKings, and he's going to be in a lot of my teams. So.
How about for you, Yvonne?
I think you kind of know that with Pickford. I think Pickford is probably the best player on Everton, even with Grealish in there. At least for DFS.
Ooh.
Just because like you need a solid goalkeeper, and he's gonna see shots. Like Everton, well, I do think they're gonna have a good year. I have them finishing somewhere around like 11th or 12th. They're gonna allow a lot of shots, and I think Pickford's gonna end up with a lot of saves. But like I agree with you guys. Grealish, I think finishes with 20 plus goals plus assists. And I think Beto probably finishes top 10, maybe even top 5 in goal scoring this year. I'm a big fan of him this year. That's like my bold prediction.
That's a huge call. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm a big fan of him.
I'm gonna go look up the season long lines on Beto when we're down here now.
To be fair, they've lost DCL as well, so Beto's going to get 90 minutes almost every game.
Yeah, as long as he can stay healthy.
Oh,
yeah, that's the big part.
He was more in the physio room than on the pitch. So.
All right, let's talk Fulham. Doubtful is Sessegnon. This team, different look here. You got Leno in goal, Raul Jimenez up front, Iwobi on the wing. You know, you look at this team and associate Jimenez with Wolves. Iwobi was with Everton for a while. It's a weird. They have a weird conglomeration of people over at Fulham last year. Yeah, Burge is I associate with Sheffield. Like it's just I'm interested to see how this team is going to actually gel. This is a team that I am going to want to target those fullbacks on at least. And I should mention Harry Wilson, but I think this is a team where I'm going to want to play Tete and Sessegnon in addition to some of the attackers. Yvonne, what do you think of this Fulham team?
I mean, Jimenez is probably my favorite striker. Just biased. I'm from Mexico, so I'm biased there. But I think he's a good DFS play. But honestly, I'm gonna target Fulham mostly in like that bottom half when they play against bottom half teams. Like I don't think they're good enough to really produce DFS wise against like the top 7, top 8. Like once they play like their Burnleys, the Sunderlands, the Leeds, I think that's when like Wilson, Jimenez, Iobi. That's not where I'm gonna like lock them in.
Yeah, I think my bold prediction, is I mean, kind of feeding off you, not for DFS. I think Fulham can sneak in the top half this year if this team comes together. Like just looking on paper, I really don't hate them. Like they're not going to be. I'm going to say it again because I said it earlier. Like they're not going to be sexy picks all year, but I think they're going to find ways to get some points. Ash, what's the thought over there in the UK on Fulham?
Well, I think Leno's a really good goalie, like for DFS as well. Like he's got good upside, good save percentage. Joshua King is an interesting play. He'll often be min or minish price. And like Ivan said, against the bottom half teams, definitely take some of that. Iwobi's fast direct. Well, yeah, I agree with you, Sniper. I think they can sneak into top 10. And DFS, they've got some good punty plays for GPPs.
Yeah, I think mostly for DFS, it's going to be for me Leno and the outside here, and then depending on salary and matchup, that's when I mix in Iwobi or Jimenez.
I'm very high on Jimenez. Yeah, so I agree with Ivan without any bias.
All right, let's talk Leeds because they're back. Look, they were fun of the championship last year. I don't like this team right now. I'm having, what you got, Joel Pirro up front. Daniel James is probably going to be their DFS option, but I think this team's in for a world of hurt. I think they're going to give up a shit ton of goals. I don't know how many they're going to score. I'm not high on this team. Ash, what do you think of Leeds?
Well, I think you're right. They'll go straight back down. But Joel Pirro is a pretty good player. He's got some good shooting ability, quite strong and fast.
I think he's going to be one that like really struggles the first half of the season to adjust to the Premier League, and then he'll be better the second. Like I think he's going to have a rough open to the season.
Perhaps, but like I'll only really target him versus people who came up. Probably, and also Wolverhampton. Like they're the type of games. No, they sold too many players and didn't replace, but that's a different story. Yeah, Pirro is the only person. Nonto had like upside when they were in the Premier League last time, but like again, not versus anyone decent. I think they're really in for a struggle. Maybe Lucas Perry if he's really cheap and you need a cheap goalie, but that's pushing it as well.
I think this team's going to be relegated with like many weeks to go. This is my least favorite team.
They didn't invest much either, did they? So
no, they don't. I don't think they're good. Yvonne, how about for you on Leeds?
Honestly, I think you guys covered them pretty well. But I just want to add their left back, Gunmanson. I don't know if that's the right pronunciation. Gunmanson. He likes to get up. Like I've seen a couple of his games. He likes to go up, run up the field, and like being Leeds, I think he'd be like priced pretty low. I think he's a good GPP option,
especially if he's going to overlap with Minato if he likes to go up. Yeah, it'd be interesting. I already think we spent too much time on them. That's how little I think of that team. All right, let's go over to Liverpool. Again, one of the favorites to win the league, finish in Champions League spots. They're going to be contending. Tons to talk about in this team. You got, the names on this team. Actually, really the carryovers from last year. The goalkeeper Alisson, the stalwart Van Dijk back there, Cesar Balai, and Mohamed Salah. They bring in from the Bundesliga Wirtz. Oh, Gakpo was there last year too. I can't, for the life of me, I'm not going to be able to say his name.
Ekateke.
I can't do it. I just Ekateke.
You
I
got
know it.
Yeah.
That's one I know, and I want to stutter every time I say it.
Just call him Hugo then.
Yeah. You got Hugo up front. I should do that. Frimpong will be a good, like, this whole team. What you're going to struggle with Liverpool are the prices you're going to see, and it's going to be a little bit like Man City was years ago, where who's going to score the goals. Can't play. They're all too expensive to stack. This is when we were debating between. I mean, I'm going to go back really far, but we were debating between Sergio Aguero, Kevin De Bruyne, Raheem Sterling. I can't play all of them. Well, now I got Mohamed Salah, I got Hugo, I got Wirtz, I got Gakpo, McAllister. Says like, who do you play? That's the issue you're going to run into with pricing, and it's going to kind of vary week to week, matchup to matchup, and who's hot. That being said, Yvonne, what do you think about this Liverpool team in terms of who are your favorite targets going to be going into the season?
Yeah, I think Wirtz is probably my favorite target from Liverpool.
Yep.
We already saw in the community shield on Sunday. Like him and Ekateke already combined for a goal and assist, like on a goal. I think those two are going to take a lot of the work from Salah. Like we just talked about with Chelsea. Like I would choose Palmer over Salah. I think the reason would be this, like that middle attacking force, Wirtz and Ekateke. I think those two are going to combine for a lot of goals and a lot of assists.
Yeah. So the short version is Liverpool's really good. You're going to want to play somebody.
Yeah,
I agree. My favorite is Wirtz heading into the season as well. It's just going to be prices in a matchup. Ash, and you see anything different?
For the first few games before Liverpool eventually sign Isak, which will happen in my opinion, Ekateke will be the best Liverpool asset by far.
Interesting.
Think,
and then is he going to go to the bench then?
No. I think Gakpo will drop out and Ekateke will go in Gakpo's position and Isaac will go up front, which will make it even harder, by the way.
Yeah. Can you imagine being Gakpo and be making that much money to not start?
Yeah.
I mean, sign me up for that life, please. I know you're mad you're not playing, but
I've done a lot of research on Ekateke and he is fantastic. I'd take him over Palmer, Salah, or Wirtz. So.
Wow.
Anybody on this team could score a hattie against Bournemouth, by the way.
And
any of them.
Can I just say, defense-wise, Liverpool have really looked bad. Like they've been caught out in pre-season and in the Charity Shield.
Yeah, Virgil van Dijk's getting old, and was already old the last few years.
I think this is going to be the classic. We'll score more than you,
which is interesting. Yeah, that probably is where they're weakest. They got a good keeper in Allison, but I can only do so much.
And they've got an even better goalkeeper on the bench, Mamesh Dashvili.
All right.
Again.
Yeah, that's right. And you got Curtis Jones on this team too. Like there's
he looked fantastic preseason. Yeah.
So lots to like about this team.
Yeah, my notes for them are just play everybody. That's my notes for this team.
Matter of fitting here. All right, let's go to one of the other teams going to be contending, Man City. Look, tons of stuff going on here. Not in the projected lineup because of injuries and doubt and et cetera, et cetera. You still have Phil Foden on this team. You still have Rodri. Still, there's still tons on this names on this squad. Obviously, Erling Haaland, Doku, Chekri is come in. Bernardo Silva, Gundogan on the wings. Mateo Nunes, Ryan Atnori. Like there's tons to play on this team. It's going to be Haaland's the goal scorer. Although Doku, he took plenty of points last year. It seemed like every time I played Haaland last year or decided to pay up, Doku went off and I was cursed his fucking name. Like, so for a little while, it's a little bit difficult to figure out, as Pep teams usually are. My general advice with Man City is who's cheapest because I want to play them. Oh, and you got what's his name coming in from
Nori.
No.
From AC
Italian,
Milan.
Gianni Renders. Did he play for Inter or did he play for
AC.
AC. Yeah.
It was one of the Milan teams. I couldn't remember which one. He's probably going to be, I think, a little bit underpriced to start the year, but it's typical more Man City who's play Haaland where you can. It's GPP option. Haaland's really only in play for cash games if Liverpool's not on the slate and if Chelsea's not on the slate, and probably Arsenal's not on the slate. Or I guess the alternatively, if Man City's playing Leeds, then go ahead and play Haaland. But yeah, I did a lot on this team because this is one I've been closest to over the years. We were talking before, and I'm not, I'm a fan of the sport, fan of the league. Other than that, I pick players. And Kevin De Bruyne is obviously a Man City player for a long time, and he's somebody I started following from that Golden Age Belgium team that I really like to play. It's why I follow Romelu Lukaku and Eden Hazard. Like those, I like that team, and I'm not from Belgium. Just how it worked out. Any more clarity other than another team with really good pieces, with Haaland being the standout that you can add, Ivan?
Their new signing, you mentioned Rangers, but I like Turkey. He was a big wonder kid earlier in his career with, I think it was Lyon in France. I think he's going to be a big playmaker now that De Bruyne is gone. I think he's going to be the one who takes over that role for them.
You think Checo's going to take over the KDB role?
Like that like a playmaker role, yeah.
Yep.
But you're saying about like cheaper options, like whoever was priced. Bernardo Silva, for whatever reason, last year was near min price towards the end of the year. I think he's going to be a big, like a play, not a must play, but like a big play, and if he's pretty cheap in cash.
Yeah, it's going to be a salary thing. Ash, how about for you?
Yeah, I like Renders a lot this year. I think he's got a couple of goals upside in him on specific games. I think he's going to get forward a ton. Also, I'd like to say Edison's on his way out, and Donnarumma looks like he's coming in. That's big. But I think Haaland will have a really big season, bigger than what he's done previous as well. That's really high on Haaland.
He's had some big seasons.
I think we could see him smash his own record this year.
Be fun. Let's go to everybody's favorite Manchester
and also,
team.
Cherky will have a good season. I agree with Ivan on that.
I'm interested to see his price. Are they playing on Saturday?
They're on the 3 p.m. kickoffs. Yeah.
Showdown. Yeah, they have a showdown.
Showdown slate. I'll be interested in his price.
They're on FanDuel, yeah, but they're not a showdown in DK.
I hate the FanDuel split slate. I hate it. All right, let's talk everybody's favorite Man United team, Manchester team, Man United. Totally different look here because they outside of Casemiro and Bruno because they struggled. At one point, we were rooting for him to go down last year, or at least I was. Kuna's up front in Wobo. The Brentford signing is probably going to be your DFS option here. I think the interesting thing to talk about here is what's going to and Xerxes is not pictured here. Xerxes hurt. Yep. How is Mbobo and Bruno what are they going to impact each other's floors? Because separately, individually last year, obviously Mbobo on Brentford, Bruno on this team, they were both smash cash game plays because they did like everything for their team. They're going to be playing together here. There's only so many points to go around. I think it's going to be a little bit of a stay away from me for a little bit till we figure out how this team is going to actually play in the pitch, where the points are going to go. Ash, do you have a lean one way or the other, though?
I probably go with Bruno. I think Bruno keeps the majority of the high-value crossing into the box, and then Bruno...
prima donna if he's not getting it. Like, he's going to be a little bitch about it.
Yeah, but I also think this team sheet's wrong. I think Cunha plays where Fernandes is, Fernandes plays where Casemiro is, and Sesko plays up front, so...
Okay. I mean, we got to start seeing formations. Interesting.
Yeah, and I think Bruno will have like a deep lying playmaker where he doesn't move around much, but just pings it over the top and gets assists. He'll get a load of assists.
Isn't that what he does for Portugal, actually, now that I think about it?
It is, yeah.
How about for you, Ivan?
Like Ash just mentioned, I think Sesko, like, I know he's not featured here, but he should be the starting striker, and I think that's going to be like the guy and focus on the most, at least early on, for Manchester United. And their fullbacks. I think both of their fullbacks have a good year this year.
Yeah, this for me, like you said, it's kind of be a wait and see the first few weeks. I want to see how this team's going to shake out because even here they're seeing different lineups, different formations. It'll be interesting to see what they do.
I think
We're not going to talk about.
Sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I think we see a ton of like 3-2 either way with this Man United team. Like it's going to be terrible in defense, but very lethal in attack.
So you're saying Man U and Liverpool, I should just go bet the overs now?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Nobody wants to talk about Newcastle, so we can skip. I'm just playing. I couldn't resist. All right. We'll let Ash go first. We got Newcastle here. Trippier and Livramento on the outside. Trippier, always a good DFS play in terms of defenders. Throws in tons of crosses. Tonali coming over from Milan. I can't get. Was he AC or Inter? Same thing.
AC Milan.
The Inter teams are they're totally one team in my head right now, and I know it's not right. Murphy, Gordon, Barnes up front because no Isak. He'll be.
This team is so wrong. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that. There are a couple of things here that looked a little bit off to me as well, but we'll let Ash cover it. It just gives us a good place to look at and talk about to start. For me, every week out before I go to you, Ash, is I always find Joelinton an interesting play in terms of I always think he's underpriced for what he can do. I feel like he can break out any week. So that's my thought on this team. Ash, what do you got on?
With no Isaac on the pitch, Joelinton is even better of a play because he will burst into the box as that number 9. Like, even though he's playing in midfield, as soon as we get the ball, he's going to run past Gordon and look to get on the end of a cross. But Trippier don't start, by the way.
He's not going to start?
No, Livramento will play where Trippier is, and Lewis Hall will play where Livramento is. Yeah.
That's upsetting because I like Trippier as a DFS play for years now, but I guess that time has sailed on us.
Yeah, I think Tonali is a really good pick for Newcastle this year. I think he will take over on corners, and also Jacob Murphy won't play. Elanga will.
Yeah, that seemed.
And with Elanga's pace, he's a real threat for DFS. Like we saw it for Forest last year.
Where do you think Newcastle finished this year?
Oh, my heart or my head?
Both.
Okay, my heart says 4th. My head says 6th.
You still gave him better than I think. I was going to say 7.
By the way, Isaac, if he doesn't leave, definitely reintegrates back into this team. There's no way he sits out a whole season.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I was thinking 6-7 for Newcastle, but we'll see how it shakes out.
I also think Aaron Ramsdale will be the goalkeeper because we just signed him on loan for $4 million. So.
Yeah, that would make me think he's going to go there as well. I don't hate Nick Pope though. Okay.
Oh, he's terrible with his feet.
Ivan, how about for Newcastle? Be careful what you say because Ash is right here.
I think Ash did the nail with everything. I mean, that's his favorite team, so I'm gonna agree with him in most things. But I do think Schär, for a reason, I play Schär almost every week.
He won't play after the first few games because we signed we signed the AC Milan defender.
Oh, is he gonna be a starter?
Yeah. Well, we spent 40 mil on a defender. There's no way you don't start.
Okay. Well, I'll play Schär the first few weeks then. I don't know. He scored, I think, 5 goals last season. For whatever reason, every time I play him, he scores. So.
Good luck, Charm. All right, let's talk at Nottingham Forest. The favorite team of MMA journalist Ariel Hawani, which I feel like I'm so sick of seeing their logo on his goddamn laptop now that it makes me dislike this team. Like it really does. Good news for me. I don't really like this team this year. Morgan Gibbs-White is the one, and I think Chris Wood's overrated. Like, I think he's going to slow down. For me, this team is Gibbs-White and Hudson-Odoi, and I don't even like Hudson-Odoi that much. I think this team is Morgan Gibbs-White. That's who we'll look at in DFS. Not for me. I think this team is going to be one I'm going to target against. Ivan, what do you think of Nottingham Forest? I'm sorry you keep getting the shit teams.
I'm okay. I Actually, I like 9 and 4 like as a team, but I don't like him for DFS this year. Like I think Wood, like you said it, he had a good year last year, but I think he's overrated. Like he's gonna come back to 100. Like there was the one hit. I mean, I know he was good before, but that was just like a one season wonder there. Like honestly, Anderson might be the only player I really play. Him and Gibbs White. No,
Okay,
Anderson, I
I
think
could see that.
should take the set pieces. I know he took them last year, and then now with Noah Elanga, he should be like the main set piece guy for them.
All right, I like it. Ash, how about for you?
You guys clearly ain't seen the news today. Nottingham Forest just bought James McAtee from Man City, and also Amari Hutchinson was in the league last year. I think they'll have a good season. I really do. I think they've got a really good core. They've got one of the best pairings of centre backs in the league, who are also like ball players. I think Merlot could be a good sneaky GPP play. He can get a goal from really cheap. I think Gibbs White and James McAtee will supply Wood really well. I think they could finish 7th or 8th again this year.
Really? Wow. See, I had him down like 13, 14, 15.
Wouldn't even surprise me to see them. And I hate saying this because it'll push Newcastle down in my mind. Get Champions League this year.
No way. Really?
Yes. That's my hot take for the season.
We're on way different
I'm
pages.
so impressed with their signings today. Yeah.
All right. I didn't see that. McAtee helps them a little bit, so I got to readjust my.
And Murray Hutchinson is fast as well. Really fast. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't seen McAtee either. But they have what? They have Europa League too? No? Or the Europa Conference?
They got Europa League because
Europa
the other Crystal Palace got demoted due to the
Yeah.
I think that's why they're gonna affect it. I think that's gonna affect them a bit.
And I think Elliot Anderson is one of the best players in that defensive midfield position. Yeah.
I think we're on different pages here, but you know what? McAtee brings him up a little bit in my mind. I don't think I'm gonna go as high as you, but I guess we'll see how the
I hope I'm wrong. Yeah.
All right, let's go to Sunderland, which, by the way, again, listen, go check out the Sunderland documentary on Netflix because anything that is mostly because of the first 2 seasons, Ash, someone who hates Sunderland, have you watched the I Am Sunderland the Sunderland Till We Die documentary on Netflix?
I haven't even seen the Newcastle one. I don't watch documentaries.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a really good one, I think, because the first season, it basically starts. The season starts. They had just been relegated the year before, and the whole and they're like, okay, we're gonna try and get back up, do this whole thing, and you watch them fall apart. They happen to be following this team who they think is going to try and get promoted again, and they fall back-to-back relegations. It is fucking painful, and you can't look away.
They're Newcastle's arch rivals. If people don't know who's watching,
guys up there in northeast England.
Yes.
All right. See, I know my geography a little bit. In terms of this team, how old is Granit Xhaka at this point? Because I feel like he's got
34, maybe.
Yeah, he's getting up there. Look, this team, while they just promoted and a long time coming, the documentary was years ago, and now they're just now back. This is a team that is, I don't think, going to allow a lot of goals, win a bunch of 1-0s, maybe scrape by just enough points to get 16, 17, and stay up. Not a lot to like here for DFS, but I think they are just kind of boring, solid, and we'll see how it goes. I am worried, though, that if they – so that's my thought. If they finish 20th and can't score at all, I'm not going to be super surprised. I'm like, oh, yeah, what did I think was going to happen? But I think they're going to get some points. I refuse to give Yvonne another team who's going to just totally suck.
I'm quite happy with this one.
Ash, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Ash.
This is coming from someone who hates Sunderland. I hope they get relegated. However, I'm very impressed with their recruitment. Very impressed. I think Adingra is going to get them points on his own. They've got a good core. I think you're right. They will grind out results. I just hope Newcastle smash them 7-0. But yeah. But from a DFS point of view, I like Hume on the fullback. He's quite a good player. And Renialdo, again, he will get forward. And being on the same side as the Dingra, I like pairing them when they're against like the Leeds, only the real bad teams. But they definitely have some small upside in the right game. And that's all I have. Yeah.
Ivan, anything to add for Sunderland?
No, I think Ash had it. Like said everything I was gonna say, but I will say somebody who's not mentioned here is Enzo Lefi. I know you mentioned a little exit next to it, but if he plays, I like him in DFS. Like he's a player that could get near the box, put in some passes for some assists. So if he starts in the midfield, I think he could be a good play in DFS.
Well, they signed Guai, didn't they, as well? So.
Yeah, but he's out until I think mid-September, I want to say.
Yeah, he's out for like 4 games, I think.
Yeah.
But he'll get them some goals. Yeah.
Let's talk the should have been UEFA Super Cup champions. Like, I don't how you blow a 2-0 lead. Just come on. Hear this PSG shit. Anyway, but I think they showed up pretty well. Did Tottenham Hotspur. Richarlison up front. Kudus, Sarr, Bentancur, Pedro Porro is always an interesting play. Those are the ones who kind of stick out top of mind here. And then Solanke is not here. But again, for me, this is a team that I for the most part, I'm just going to stick with Porro, Kudus, and Richarlison. And I know, it's Sarr, Brennan John. I don't know. I feel like when Tottenham's on a slate, unless they're the only top 6 side on a slate, they're just not going to be my go-to plays. Like they're there, they're fine, but I don't find myself flocking to them. Ivan, trying to give you a good team to break down. What do you got?
Yeah, I agree with you. Porro and Kudos obviously 2 of the better players. So it's for Charlton. I know he's not listed as a starter, but if he gets a start or 2. I'm a big fan of his. I know he's kind of like a wonder kid from Bayern Munich, I want to say. I think he missed a penalty over the week. But I think if he gets playing time, I think he can produce for DFS.
I also think when Madison comes back, I think he's going to be a bit of a trap.
He's out for the season.
It's his whole season
he's out
now?
for a year.
Yeah.
Well, I thought it was going to be like half a year.
No, he really messed his foot up.
Yeah. So I thought he was going to be out half the year, come back, and I was going to be kind of a stay away for me. But all right, no hot take there. Ash, anything else to add for Tottenham?
Yeah, like judging by what I've heard from the Spurs fans around here, they weren't happy with the counter-attack play. But however, I think for DFS, it makes Johnson a really good pick because he's lethal going forward with pace. All right, he's a bit hit and miss with the shot, but he'll get positions where he gets shots, and that's good for DraftKings. So that'd be my number 1 pick for Spurs. I think Bergvall was really good, though. I do agree with that, Ivan. Yeah.
2 teams left. We're doing pretty good, guys. We got West Ham here against Sunderland. I like West Ham quite a bit. I was talking to you guys beforehand. I think Fulkrug is going to have a pretty good season. Got Juan Bissaka out wide. James Ward-Prowse is always DFS interesting. Jared Bowen is a guy I can never get right. And my arch nemesis who's on West Ham, fucking name is escaping me. Ash, you're gonna help me out here. You're gonna bail me out. He was central player.
Suchek.
Yeah, fucking. Like, yeah, he just would randomly pop up with goals and braces for no.
I was on the other
reason.
side of that. I always got him right,
Yeah, that was one. So I'm glad he's not fucking here. Please leave.
Mm-hmm.
I think this team's going to make a run at European football. I like this team quite a bit. Devon, we'll start with you for this one.
Okay. I'm on the opposite of you, actually. I think we were talking before we went.
We agree most of the time on this show, but not this one.
Yeah, I think West Ham might get relegated this year. if they don't, they'll finish 17th. Like I just don't see
See,
goal scorers from them.
I like this
Like,
team. Where
I think they
I
have
think they can finish
40.
between 7th and 10th.
Like I don't know. Like the goal scoring is just something I can't see them doing. Like they scored 45, I want to say last season, which only like Tottenham and United scored less than them. I don't know. I don't trust. I know Bowen's gonna get a couple goals, be a good DFS player, but like Fulkrug, I don't know. Unless he shows me something like the first month, like I think I'm off of West Ham completely.
All right, Ash. I like West Ham. Yvonne does not break the tie.
I love West Ham this season. I think they've got a really good manager. I really rate the manager so much. I think he will get the best out of Bowen. Bowen's going to have a really good season. I think Fulrug, if he can stay fit, which is the only question mark for me, will have a really good season. I think Lucas Paqueta's got a lot to prove, and he's got a lot to pay back the West Ham fans who supported him for all of the false allegations, we can say now, because he was proved innocent. So I think Paqueta, Bowen, and Fulrug will carry this team, and I love the new signing Diouf for a DFS play. Yeah,
It's worth noting the bookmakers have them finishing 16th, no 15th. 15th. Burnley's minus 300 to get relegated. Sunderland's minus 275. I might bet Sunderland to stay up if I'm going to get plus 200. I don't hate that number.
Sunderland's plus 200 to stay up.
No, I have to look. They're minus 275 to go back down. So I'm just assuming that puts them in that plus 200-ish range to stay up. I have to
I would take that bet. I think Sunderland finishes probably like 15.
So yeah, and it's to go down. It's Burnley minus 300, Sunderland minus 275, then Leeds at plus 120, Wolves at plus 310, Brentford at plus 310, and there's a jump to West Ham and Everton. Interesting. So let's start with one of the teams we're going to be targeting against is who we're going to finish up with, the Wolverhampton Wanderers. Again, made me thought like Ted Lasso bit. The Wolverhampton Wandering Wolves. Nope, just Wolverhampton or Wolves. The whole everyone. Not a lot here in terms of team news. So this should be the team they are running out. I can see why they're picked to finish towards the bottom of the league. Not a lot here. Is their best player
Strand Larson?
Yeah. Strand Larson up there. I don't think Doherty's bad, and he's buried back here as a central defender. Oh. Okay. Yeah, this team's rough. Probably a Strand Larson. Yeah. But this team's pretty rough. Not one going to be doing a lot of targeting for DFS. Ash, any other thoughts here other than mostly who cares for DFS?
Wolverhampton Wanderers, like I said before we started the show, get ready to say bye-bye to the Premier League because you're going down this season.
So that, by the way, if you want to make that bet, you can go get that at plus 310 for them to go down.
I will be placing a bet on that. Strand Larsen's the only player I'd target, and Hoover as well in the right matchup if he is priced accordingly. Yeah. Other than that, Jose Sarr maybe as a cheap goalkeeper. Other than that, I wouldn't touch him.
Ivan, how about for you?
I agree. I think if they're not going to get relegated, I think they're going to be right on the edge. For me, it's between them or West Ham get relegated. One of those two is going to get relegated. But I want to add Arias. I know he just came over from, I want to say Fluminense, from the Brazilian league. I think if they stay up, it's going to be because of him and Strand Larson.
I've never heard of him.
He's like, 28, 29, I want to say. So he's not like a young prospect, like a Brazilian prospect. I think he's actually Colombian, but he looked good in the Club World Cup. I've seen him a couple of times in like the Copa Libertadores, which is like the South American version of the Champions League. I think he's gonna be a good player. I think he'll fit Wolves, and I think he could produce in the Premier League.
All right. Don't go anywhere yet. We're not done. That's a team by team breakdown. Make sure you smash the like button. Make sure you share with your friends. Get in the Discord. Start following along with cheat sheets. Start making some money. Start playing these DFS contests. We will leave you with this. I think we need to give our official picks for bottom 3 who gets relegated. And how many Champions League spots does the Premier League have this year?
5.
5 this year. So let's go Champions League picks, relegation picks. Anybody got them like top of their head ready to go?
Shall I go first?
Go ahead.
No, go on, Ivan. You go.
All right. So bottom 3, I think Burnley finishes the lowest points out of anybody. Their 20 is locked for me. The other 2 spots, I'm kind of like not sure about, but I think I don't know. This is controversial. At Brentford, I think they go down.
Okay.
I don't really see them having too much with like everybody lost. They lost their manager as well. And like I said earlier, I think that 18th and the first team relegated, it would be between West Ham and Wolves. I think one of those teams going down.
Let's do all relegation first. Ash, who do you have being relegated?
It's really easy for me. Burnley bottom, Leeds next, and then Wolverhampton Wanderers.
So I'm close. I got Burnley, Leeds, and Brentford, but Brentford and Wolves is pretty close.
Yeah, I think Brentford finished 17th, so we're exactly the same, really.
All right.
Where do I have Leeds? Sorry. I have like what I listed. No, I have where I listed everybody. I'm trying to see where I had Leeds. I have them at 17th officially.
Yeah, that's fair.
My top 5. Well, let's see what we can do. Consensus top 5s here. Everybody agree? Liverpool, Arsenal, Man City are going to be top 5.
In order, or
no? Let's just say anywhere in the top 5. Those 3 in?
So all of those 3 are in.
Yeah.
Yep. Chelsea. We all agree in there?
No.
Chelsea. I have Chelsea.
I have Chelsea as well. So that's me and Yvonne at 4. And for me, my 5th is Tottenham. Yvonne, who's your 5th?
I have Aston Villa.
That's a sneaker. Okay. That's but that'll get you up there. So we got your first 3, Ash, is Liverpool, Arsenal, Man City. Who's your 4 and 5?
My number 4 would be. I'll do it as if I think Man United might.
Yep.
And then I think Newcastle.
He's picking with his heart. I love it. Love it. Gotta go with the heart.
My heart would say Newcastle finished 4th, so I'm saying 5th.
I like it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really good, close Premier League this year.
Yeah.
Other than I think Arsenal might run away with the league. So
I don't think so. I think it's going to be closer for a little while. I think Arsenal finds a way to come back to the pack a little bit. All right, guys. This was fun. Thanks thanks for jumping on doing this. I think any questions from the members, ask any of us in Discord. First few weeks will be a little bit hectic. Make sure as the season goes on, make sure you're playing Champions League when it starts. Champions League is the most fun I have in DFS all season, Tuesday and Wednesdays, and I'm an MMA guy. Champions League is more fun than MMA.
The Champions League got me in the king of the pitch.
Yep, and the king of we're going to chase the qualifiers this year. Going to have tons of fun in the Discord. Any last thoughts for you guys before we get out of here?
No, I was just going to say if Isak plays for Newcastle, I think they fight for the top 4. But right now he's like.
I've done it based on Isaac being reintegrated back into the team once the window's closed. Yeah.
Yeah, I think if he's there, I think he takes over. They take over Man City. I think Man City will finish 5th if Isak is there with Newcastle.
I like it. All right, guys, that's it for the 2025-2026 EPL season preview. Smash the like button, like I said. I asked nicely. Now just fucking do it. See you guys in the Discord. Good luck this year in all your contests, and we will see you later.